Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the World Stage Arts Education and Performance Gallery, dedicated to seeking light through sound. Enjoy the show.
Welcome. Put your hands together. We're inside the World Stage, the historical World Stage. Give yourselves a hand. Thank you for coming out. Thank you, our viewing or listening audience. I want to get right down to the business. We do have these workshops that are available for you. Please check all of our platforms. You can get our Zoom numbers and everything off of that. I just want to get right to some serious business. Tomorrow at 3 p.m. until 7 p.m., we are hosting a fundraiser here at the World Stage and right next door at Barbara Morrison's from 3 to 7 o'clock for our dear brother, Nolan Shaheed. Yeah, that's right, clap. While Nolan is going through his journey, we're going with him in all ways we can, and we will be here in support of his cause. So you can check it out on live stream. It will definitely be I believe the door opens at 3 o'clock, and it will be streamed here. Barbara Morrison has a show. They have a GoFundMe page already set up. You're more than welcome to bring money here. There will be someone here to receive your money if you do. We're going to have a great time, and we're going to have a NOLA-thon. Are you with me on that NOLA-thon? How's that sound? Yeah? So, all right, tonight, prepare yourselves for an experience. Yes, this is the World Stage, and we are known for having stellar entertainment. Comes into you, not just to entertain you, but to enter you and bless your soul. That's what this place is. This is church. Can I get it? Ashe. Ashe. Tonight we have the dearly beloved, the one and only, the dynamic, the soulful, the sensitive, Mr. Jennings. Brent Jennings, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together as we receive this brother in the house of Billy Higgins. Hold on to your hats, call your friends, because it's going up. Is this Dwight? Dwight TRIBLE.
can't see that I see. I see, I see, I see. They can't know that I know, I know, I know, I know, I know. I see, I see, I see, I know, I know, I know. I see, I know, I see. I'm with them, but they aren't with me. Sometimes I try to talk to them, but they can't understand. I understand, but they can't understand. And they don't see or appreciate things like I do, like the stars, the sun, the moon. They're there always. I feel them always. I sing to them. I talk to them. La 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 la. I obey them. But they don't see. Oh, look at the spider. He's crawling across the ceiling. He's trying to get where he's going without being seen. Moving so slowly because he wants to get to the other side unseen. He sees but doesn't want us to see. This world they live in is like that. Doesn't want us to see. They fuss and fight a lot. My mother stays in her bedroom, lays across the bed. Very quietly, she cries. I see, I see, I see, I see, I know, I know, I know, I know. My father, he's sick. He sits in his room and he chews this brown stuff and spits it into a can. Thinking real deep. The big why, the big how, the big what. I wish they could see the stars, not just at night, but anytime they needed to see them. I sing to them all the time. Ooh, me, la, 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 la. I don't look directly at anyone. Sometimes I will for dramatic effect, but I keep my gaze out here, looking at my real home, my original, my origin home. It would defeat my purpose to look directly at them. I don't speak their language. I understand it. I feel it, but don't speak it. And they can't speak mine. Most people believe I can't comprehend or perceive or understand, but I see through them. I see around them. I can stand in this house and look through the walls out into the stratosphere, into a galaxy far, far away, just like the TV show says that my brother's always looking at. Yeah. I can communicate. I can't communicate with them in their way, but I don't have the limitations or the problems they have either. They're confined to this world. I am not. They're of this world. I am not. As Daddy's sickness began to settle in to him, began to dominate his body, his mind. It began to alter his personality. He became a quieter and more introspective kind of person. He was still a young man. He was still in his 50s. He didn't see all this coming. There was always this stunned look in his eyes, a look of disbelief. We missed the old Daddy, the easygoing and outgoing Daddy, the Daddy that loved to tell us funny stories, usually about himself. I remember one evening, all of us, Mama, Slim, Wiley, Jimmy, and me, and Daddy, we were sitting on the front porch. It was a nice evening. Daddy dusk had set in, and the fireflies were out, along with the mosquitoes too. I was standing off to myself, singing to the setting sun as it tinted the sky this dusty orange. Woo, ma 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 ma. Then Daddy started to tell us about his first experience with a traffic light. He says, you know, in Cotton Plant, where I grew up on a farm, there was no such thing as traffic lights. I don't think we had paved roads or maybe gravel roads, but I didn't see no traffic light till I got here to Little Rock. Anyway, I came up here to go to junior college, and then the war broke out, and me and Milton, that was his brother, joined up, but that's another story. That's another story. When I first got here, I was staying over there on 10th and Arch with R.J. Nunley. We shared a little apartment together. R.J. was from Cotton Plant, but he'd been up here long enough to think he was a city boy. Well, now, my first night in town, I found myself at the apartment alone, all by myself. R.J. worked nights down at the Sam Peck Hotel, so I decided to take a walk to get to know the neighborhood. Now, you got to know, down in Cotton Plant, we didn't have nothing like a 9th Street. That's where I was walking to, 9th Street. I had always heard about it, so I headed straight there. It was basically just around the corner anyway. Now, I had never seen so many Negroes in one place. The barbershops and the beauty parlors, the movie theater, the gym movie theater. A dime, and you get to see 2 movies for a dime. It was a place where all the colored folks could come together and come to get anything and everything they needed, anything they wanted. It was Friday evening, and the weekend was on the way. Never seen so many Negroes in one place. In suits, and ladies in nice dresses, colored-owned restaurants, insurance and real estate companies, barbershops and beauty parlors, even a colored-owned newspaper called the State Press. You could look right through the big picture window and watch them printing the news for the next day. It looked like what I thought Kansas City or Chicago would look like. I didn't think Little Rock would look like a big city, not like that. So I'm just walking along, trying not to bump into nobody, and I find myself coming up on 9th and Broadway. Of course, you all know Broadway is a big, wide, 4-lane street. I never seen a street that wide. Wasn't nothing like that down in Cotton Plant, that's for sure. So, like I said, I find myself walking up on 9th and Broadway. Now, as I'm approaching, I can see this red light hanging there high up in the middle of the street. And just as my foot touched down on that corner of 9th and Broadway, I mean, right at that very second, that light turned from red to green. Right exactly when I hit the corner, I'm telling you. And I'm being honest, it scared me. I froze, would not move. I wanted to know how that light knew I was coming. Who told that light I was there and needed to cross the street? How did it know to change from red to green? I mean, I had questions about it. I was kind of suspicious of all of that. So I just stood there, determined to figure this thing out. Didn't seem to bother nobody else. Cars stopping over here and over there direction. People going on the sidewalks, they doing the same thing, they stopping and going. By that time, everybody, James, Jimmy, Wiley, Slim, Mama, everybody was laughing and protesting. You kids, Daddy, you wasn't that country. You could not have been that country. Mama said, well, I wish I'd have known you was that country when I met you. I would have stayed away from you. I didn't want nobody that country. Daddy said, well, that's what you got. So Mama says, yeah, back in the day, 9th Street was the place. And when the white folks wanted Negroes to be sent a message, they made sure they went to 9th Street to send that message out. Now, this 2 blocks away from where we sitting right now, 2 blocks away, right over there on West 20th Street, on the other side of High Street, there lived the Carter family. They had a young, handsome son named John Carter. Was a gardener, took care of the white folks' lawns up there in the Heights. We lived right across the street from the Carter family. This was back in the early 1930s. It was around 1927, because I think I was 8 or 9 years old. I was a little girl. Now one night, the night riders, they come riding through. All these white men on horses with torches, but no hoods or nothing like that. No, they weren't hiding. My daddy made us crawl under the bed. You could hear them calling for John Carter. We want John Carter. Where's John Carter? Send John Carter out here. Now, supposedly, a white woman he worked for had wanted him, and he refused, so she cried rape. They broke the door down, went in, got it, tied him to a horse, dragged him through the street all the way down from 20th Street to 9th Street, where they hung him. They cut off his arms. And that following morning, as folks was heading to work at all the businesses you were mentioning, Jennings, those white folks were standing at the intersection of 9th and Broadway using John Carter's amputated arms to direct traffic. That's how important 9th Street was. That poor family was never the same. Never, never, never the same. Oh, 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 oh. So I travel alone at night when everyone is asleep, and our little city is still and quiet. It's only then that the beauty of this world is apparent to me. Only then that it touches me, that it strokes me, refuels me. When everyone is asleep, still, quiet, at rest. This is when I leave my body and its imperfections in my bed. Because of my brain damage, my spine is growing crooked with a curve. And I have to hold my head tilted to the right because of that. I kind of lean to the right when I walk, and it's hard for me to run. I kind of drag my left foot. I can get it off the ground though. I kind of hop run. But in my bed at night or early in the morning, I can leave my imperfections behind. I can leave them in the bed with my body. When everyone is asleep and our little violent, hate-mongering city is still and quiet, I leave my bed and I rise high, high above the rooftops, high, aiming for the moon. I sometimes head north from our house, and in just a few miles, I'll be going gliding high above the Arkansas River, that ominous and deep brown and muddy river with its sinkholes and its secrets. But from above, it's inviting, calm, massaging the shores of the city. The moon and the stars above, the river, the physical beauty of this world below fills me with peace and understanding. A peace and understanding that can only be found up here, above. There is nothing to block the light of the stars or the glow of the moon, and the trees below are everywhere. Pine, maple, oak, elm, magnolia, cedar, sycamore. From above, they look like comfortably ruffled and puffed up pillows, cushions calling for me to plop down onto them and just nestle and snuggle and sleep the remainder of the night away. And sometimes I focus on the stars as I drift over the top of the city. I sing to them, they sing back to me. They do. I sing to them and they sing back to me. They reassure me, they caress me, they tell me I am whole and complete. They remind me of my purpose, my mission. I sometimes can even see the fireflies, their bellies flickering in the fields and lawns down below. They comfort me as well. There is so much light, even in the darkness. I wish others could see the world as I see it, to feel it as I feel it from above. The higher I go, the lines that separate neighborhoods and communities and cities and states and countries and continents become more and more meaningless. Instead of the world seeming to be a lot of different things as it does when you're down in it, but it is clearly only one thing when you're above it. But they can't see this as I see it or feel it as I feel it. If only they could step outside themselves. This gift was given to me for my survival, for my sanity. I'd give anything to be able to share it. But no one really wants it. Sometimes on Saturday mornings, when everyone in our house sleeps a little late, my brother Slim would get up extra early and take me on his paper route with him. This particular Saturday morning was beautiful, not too cold, certainly not as cold as Slim had expected. I could have done without those long johns he put on me, but it was a beautiful morning. The falling snow illuminated the early morning darkness, petals of light falling from the sky through the stark and barren trees, falling and exploding onto rooftops, the hoods of cars, the street, the wet ground, then gone is brief, yet full and exquisite life, completed and fulfilled. I can really relate to snowflakes. It's not about the longevity of life, it's about the beauty of it. Slim placed me in a shopping cart he had parked on the side of our house. He had borrowed it from Safeway, a few blocks away. Normally, he would ride his bike on his route with his papers draped over the handlebars, and after wrapping each paper with a rubber band, he'd toss them on the front porches of his customers as he rolled down the street. But today, he would place me and the papers in the shopping cart. If I walked his route with him, it would take until tomorrow morning. We made our way through the snowfall to Slim's drop point about 5 blocks away in front of Freddie's liquor store on the corner of 17th and High Street. If I don't get there early, there's still my papers. Just as we got there, a pickup truck, its flatbed piled high with bundles of newspapers pulled up. The white body driver hopped into the flatbed of the truck and tossed 3 bunches of the Arkansas Gazette at our feet, hopped back into the truck and sped off through the falling snow. Never said a word. I thought he was pretty rude, to tell the truth. Slim pulled me out of the cart. Stand right here, Curtis. He pulled a small pair of pliers out of his back pocket and he started opening the bundles of the papers. I gotta fold these, put them in the cart, then I'll put you back in. I didn't know Slim could work so fast. He sat there on the ground and started to fold all his papers, put the rubber bands on. There was nothing I could do to help, so I just stood there, let the snowflakes kiss me goodbye. Looking at the neighborhood, though, through the falling snow, made me feel as if I was outside my body again. It made me feel like I was moving, not standing still. I don't know why. But straight ahead of us, about 4 blocks east, I could see our family church. Behind us to the south, trees lined High Street as it curved around toward our house. The amber street lights on each corner, tinting the falling snow, the quiet, the stillness, made me want to experience it from above. I started singing again. Ooh, ah, me. Ooh, ooh, la 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 la
in the morning, yeah, in the morning, oh, in the morning, yeah, in the morning,
Then suddenly, out of nowhere, the reasons for Slim's speed and efficiency folding his papers became obvious. Hey, dead man. Give me some of those papers, man. Let me sell some. You can't keep all the money, man. Slim didn't say anything. He just kept working, folding his papers. Almost done. Nigga, you hear me talking to you? It was Tommy Aaron, one of the neighborhood tough guys with his buddy, Lumpy. Lumpy starts to laugh. Don't you know that nigga can't talk, Tommy? Don't never say a word in school. Don't talk to nobody. Tommy says, yeah. Well, he ain't got to talk. Nigga, can you hear? Give me some of them papers. Let me sell some. You can't keep all the money, man. Then Tommy sees me standing there, rocking back and forth, singing softly. What's wrong with this little motherfucker here? You got to take a piss, little nigga, or what? Shit, Tommy. Little man is weirder than dead, man. Look at his eyes, man. Let's just take these food papers and get on away from these weird little motherfuckers, man. Come on. Yeah, we gonna do that. Nigga been dodging me for weeks, but we got his ass now. Tommy starts coming toward me. You right, Lump. This little sucker here is weird. What kind of family you come from, dead man? I don't want to see these niggas' mama, daddy neither. He moved closer to me. You right, Lumpy. This little nigga here got some crazy eyes. He leaned into me for an even closer look. That's when I decided that Slim could use my help. That's when I decided to let my light shine. As Tommy stood over me and leaned in for a closer look, I took my hand, grabbed his nose, and let the light flow through my fingertips. The tips of my fingers were glowing like embers in a fireplace. His nose started to bleed viciously. It was flowing like the Arkansas River. He screamed, he cried, but I didn't let go. I could hear Lumpy in shock saying, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, what the fuck, what the fuck? I released him, and he fell to the ground, twitching and shivering in shock. Lumpy was just spinning in circles. He didn't know whether to run or to try to help his friend. Slim swooped me up, threw me into the cart with his newspapers, and we tore off down High Street. screams of Tommy and Lumpy had faded away as Slim made a right-hand turn onto Pulaski Street, parked the cart, sat on the curb, and began to regain his breath. Damn, Curtis, how did you do that, man? How did you do that? They'll never mess with me again. I bet you that. Leave me alone. I'll sick my 5-year-old brother on you, man. He started laughing. We both were laughing. Then all of a sudden, he jumped up from the curb and he stared at me. His eyes the size of silver dollars. I'm not stuttering, Curtis. Can you hear it? Is it real? I'm not stuttering. I'm not stuttering. I will say it again and again. I'm not stuttering. Oh, wow. Listen to this. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. A peck of pickled peppers did Peter Piper pick. Did you have anything to do with this, Curtis? Did you do this? But how could you? You didn't even touch me. You grabbed Tommy's nose. What did that have to do with me? Curtis? Ooh, ah, li, 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 ah, li, li. That was all I could say because I can't talk. Okay, we better get moving, Curtis. I'm running late. I hope I never have to explain this to anybody. We went back to 19th Street. We turned right onto Cross Street, and Slim started to toss his papers. His route ran from 19th Street on the north and 25th Street to the south, and the western border was Pulaski Street, and the eastern was Chester Street, and there was only 4 blocks from Pulaski to Chester and about 6 blocks from 19th to 25th, so Slim made our street 22nd Street, the dividing line, so he'd go from Cross to 22nd Street, and he'd push me in the cart down the middle of the street, throwing papers right and left, and then he'd turn around and we'd do the same thing on all the streets after 22nd Street, after he finished the first half of the route. Now, by the time we finished the second half of the route, the snow had stopped falling. The cart was empty, except for me. And as we turned off Cross onto 22nd Street, which was a long hill that ran from Cross Street down past Pulaski to High Street, and it crossed High Street, it was, by the time it got there, it was leveled off, and then it would go back up into a hill again on our street, on 22nd Street, on our side of High Street. There was a very, very long hill. So Slim says, okay, we can go really fast now, Curtis. We can go joyriding. Ready? Ooh, ah, li, 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 oh, ah, li, 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 li. I was ready. Slim let out a yell of liberation as he started pushing the cart down the hill. Oh, yo, 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 yo. He started doing like Tarzan, like in the movies he would watch with my other brothers. I started yelling, ah, ooh, ah, ooh, ah, yo, 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 yo. That was where we were, 5:20 a.m., yelling at the top of our lungs, the wind kissing our faces as we careened downhill through time and space. Then suddenly, Slim was gone. He wasn't there. He was no longer pushing the cart. I was careening through time and space alone. I looked back and saw Slim rolling down the street. He had tripped over his own feet. He recovered, scrambled to his feet, calling out for me, and started to run. No way was he going to catch me. The cart became my private runaway train, picking up more and more speed as it accelerated down the hill. I zoomed past the intersection of Gaines in 20 seconds, picking up more speed. No, 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 Curtis, Curtis, Curtis. The cart was moving so fast, it began to shake, rattle, and roll. I grabbed onto each side of it and tried to stabilize it. Then it occurred to me that the danger of this situation was pretty minimal. It was 5:30 in the morning. We hadn't seen a soul since we demoralized Tommy and Lumpy. Once I get past 22nd Pulaski Street on my joyride, the street levels off, and the cart would probably roll to a stop. So it wasn't that dangerous, really. before I get to High Street, I decided to stand up in the cart and enjoy the ride. I could hear Slim behind me, Curtis, Curtis, watch out! Stop, 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 stop! It wasn't me Slim was trying to stop. It was a green and white 56 Chevy heading toward the intersection of Pulaski and 22nd Street, and there was no way we was gonna miss each other. Slim fell to his knees and started to pray, oh God, 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 please don't let me get in trouble for this. Don't let this happen. He could see me standing in the cart. The street was shiny and slick from the early morning snowfall. And the cart was traveling faster and faster and faster. As I approached the intersection, the driver of the Chevy slammed on his brakes and the car started to turn and skid straight toward me. As it came toward me, I raised my arms up high over my head and looked for the stars. And then I started to lift up, to rise up out of that cart. I didn't leave my body this time. I brought it with me. Just as I was lifting up, the car slammed into the cart, ran right over it. It ended up stuck underneath the car. And I had lifted as high as the treetops, spinning head over heels, somersaulting, landed in a ditch adjacent to the road, feet first. And Slim saw it all. The driver's door of the Chevy opened, and out came Mr. Dupins. Now, Mr. Dupins lived a block from us on 33rd Street. He was probably heading home from work after pulling a graveyard shift. He worked for the railroad as a mechanic, repairing and maintaining trains. He wore black horn-rimmed glasses and had a head of hair like Frederick Douglass. Was known to have Indian blood in him, for real. Well, he was on the warpath that morning. What in the hell's going on here, boy? Are you out of your damn mind? Letting this boy ride down this damn hill like that? Wait till I tell your daddy. Believe you me, if you was my son, I'd beat the living daylight out of you for doing something stupid like that. You sure he's the one retarded? Because you seem a little slow yourself. Slim tried to explain. It was an accident. Oh boy, shut up. By the time he's examining me, how you doing, Curtis? How you end up over here, huh? 1 minute you there and then you here. Well, it was a good thing you did end up here. Your head hurt? I didn't say nothing. I can't talk anyway. He looked at us. He looked at us both and he shook his head. Ah, I tell you, dumb and dumber. Damn. And your folks are such nice people. Let me see if I can get this shopping cart from underneath this car. You better be thankful your brother ain't still in it, Slim. Well, I have no idea why he's not. Please, Mr. Dupins, sir, don't say nothing, Mr. Dupins. Mr. Dupins, cut him off. You take your brother on home. You tell your daddy I'll be by to talk to him. Slim picked up his paper bag, put his arm around me. Let's go, Curtis. Mr. Dupin elevated his car with his jack to clear the shopping cart, and we headed down 22nd Street. And once we crossed High Street, the hill would start all over again. So we headed home. Slim started questioning me. How did you get so high, Curtis? How did you do that? This was a good time not to be able to talk. Then for a moment, he seemed to be near tears. I'm studying it again, Curtis. I thought it was over. We walked up our end of the hill in silence. As we got to our house, I looked down our hill and I saw Mr. Dupins about 3 blocks away. He pulled the mangled shopping cart from underneath his car. He dragged it to the side of the street, got in his car, and drove home. Hope he don't say nothing. We walked to our front door. Slim put his index finger to his lip, giving me the sign for quiet, as if I had to be told. It was a great morning. I loved that experience. It's a beautiful morning. I was so happy to be with my big brother. I don't care what they call him in school. He was always sneaking me out of the house. This was one of our many, many adventures. I loved him. He picked me up and I put my arm around his neck, nestled my head into his shoulder, and we re-entered our world. Yeah, I miss old Slim. He was one of the good ones. He learned the lesson. And I hear Tommy and Lumpy never mess with him again.
BRENT Jennings, everybody.
Come on, better than that. Put your hands together. BRENT Jennings, maximum respect. Raise your hands up in the air. Fly over all of that. Reach for the star. Yaga, yaga, yaga.
Pablo Calagero.
Yes.
John Beasley. Eric Rivas. Breeze Smith.
DWIGHT TRIBLE, ladies and gentlemen. DWIGHT TRIBLE. Wow. All right, so we're looking for everyone tomorrow, 3 to 7. If you can't make it down, please tune in. Mr. Jennings, thank you so very much for that journey. You took us all with you, baby.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for your contribution and for what you stand for, brother. I just got to turn around and look at you and tell God bless you from the top of your head to the soles of your feet. Bless you. Thank you. Tomorrow, 3 to 7, Nolan Shaheed, fundraiser, Barbara Morrison's right here. GoFundMe page already up. You can come and enjoy the music. You can come and do a donation. You can hop next door back here, buy some food on the street. I understand they even have pouches of alcohol out there. Don't tell nobody. I told you, Lamar Park is on and popping. Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much for your donation. The World Stage is nothing without you. Please continue to support. Mr. Jennings, thank you. Thank you, thank you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that concludes our programming for this evening. Thank you. Every penny goes toward the World Stage, and we appreciate you. Thank you so very much. Are we still rolling? Can I?
You really got to be some kind of.
Did y'all check that out? Who recorded it? They just came up here and mashed it. I know y'all can't leave, huh? I ain't gonna turn the light on. Wasn't that something? We want the energy to stay right there. I thought I was in the cart with him. Amazing.
You really got to be some kind of nut. I can't use it. Trying to make it real compared to what? Come on, yeah. Come on, Nick.